Now, let's put this into perspective. We're delighted to have us with is Bruce Turkel, the chief executive of Turkel Brands and author of the book, All About Them, Grow Your Business by Focusing on Others. We wanted to talk to you about this idea of perception at the moment. I mean, obviously, it's very relevant with the US election. The perception of Donald Trump overseas, as we heard from the mayor, basically, is one of horror that this man could ever get close to becoming president of the United States.
The saying to remember is perception is reality. What people perceive is what they believe. I've spoken to friends and clients in Europe, in Asia, in Latin America. They're all horrified. And they're horrified for one reason, because we have always been the center of stability. And now we are introducing a loose cannon. And that loose cannon means so much to their own stability, because the book is...
But they can't understand how America has done this. Or I mean, it hasn't done it yet, because the election's not till November the 8th. And, of course, it's up to the American people to decide who they wish to be president. But they can't understand a process that has allowed things to get this far.
Well, one of the things is democracy allows things to get as far as people vote for them. The other thing is, I think that's a little bit of a misunderstanding, because for years when we're there, they've been calling us ugly Americans. Now they're just saying it when we're not even there.
And when we look, for example, at the opposite perception, take, for example, the UK, and the mayor was talking there about London and the perception of London and how things are there. I mean, people can't understand how the UK's voted to leave the European Union.
Well, there's a very clear parallel there, isn't there? Because a lot of people, the regretters, as they call them, were saying, I just did this as a protest. I didn't think this would really happen. And I think with the third-party candidates, with a lot of people trying to make a statement, that's what's happening in this country right now.
How difficult is it for businesses, do you think, with a brand, negotiating their brand during election times, when you don't want to be seen to be taking sides, you want to be seen to be supporting democracy, but you don't, but you're in a very difficult position? Well, I mean, I'll give you an example. Yesterday we had Mark Fields of Ford, who has clearly been clobbered by Trump over Mexico and the cars going to Mexico, but he has to fight back.
He has to fight back, but he does not have to use his brand to fight back. Here's the problem. Trump is very good at communicating to his audience, to telling them what they want to hear, to telling them that he understands them. Well, his audience drives Fords. Like them, dislike them, that's another issue. However, he attacks the auto industry and he attacks Ford, but Ford still has to sell cars to the people Trump likes. So as you said, they're walking on a very, very narrow tightrope. But what they have to remember to do, just like Trump does, is talk to their consumers.
And finally, you live in Florida, which is I was going to say the bellwether state, but it is, I mean, you're probably...
That's a euphemism.
I mean, yeah, absolutely, in one way or another. Is it going to be the important state that we believe it is in this election?
The interesting thing about Florida is that even though we are one state, we are somewhere between 7 and 11 states if you look at the way we vote. And so what happens in Florida is what happens in the country. First of all, most people are from somewhere else. They brought their local politics with them, and then they live in enclaves that are specifically based on who they are politically. So yeah, Florida is going to make a big, big difference. Trump has a reputation and a history in Florida, just like everywhere else. Some of it's good, some of it's quite bad.
Would you like to be responsible for his branding?
Well, that would give me a real conflict, but yes, I think it'd be a hell of a challenge.
Believe it there. Good to see you.
Thank you,
We'll see you in Florida.
I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you.